What is going on, folks? It is the True Vapor Show number 153. Yes, 153 in the books. We are almost, almost. I'm like a fingernail touch away from hitting three. Is it 3 years? Yeah, it's 3 years of this.
Oh
Wow.
shit! 3 years,
This is too damn long, son. When is enough of this crap? But anyway. So we got a special guest tonight, but we're not going to get to him just right yet. We're going to wait till around the end of the show and we'll introduce him. But we'll go ahead and do the usual countdown. So take it away, Mark. Oh, hold on, Mark. Before you start, since I got to do my little opening intro, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody and big thanks for the birthday wishes there from this past Sunday. Thank you very much. I know I did it on Mark's show, but since we're on my channel, I can say thank you and all that good stuff. But I do appreciate that. Now, take it away, Mark.
Wait, it was really your birthday?
It actually was.
Wow, that was real? I didn't know that was real.
I know we kid about this shit so much, you never know when it's real and when it's not. So
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, I got the let me see. I got the Reload X on top of the new Triad. Oh shit, just knocked that over. Got the Nada on the VN. Got the Mesh Pro on the 217. I got the very last of some Saturn. I got some Killer Custard from Paradigm, and I got some Alchemist from Cloud Chemist. That's it. Take it away, Mr. Michael Vapes.
Good evening.
wow.
Right?
Michael. Sweet.
Good evening.
Here we go.
Okay. Let's do this. Alrighty. We are vaping on Triad DNA 250C with the Nada out of the air. Nada. Look at that. It's leaking everywhere. You see it?
Yep.
Look right there. It's leaking.
Piece of junk.
I'm vaping on. I'm also vaping on the XT. I mean,
There we go.
they should put ST there. That'd be like ST's mod.
Man, that would be an awesome mod for me right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could put a sticker there that says ST.
Who makes that mod?
This is made by Tesla. This is a dual 21700 mod.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Check this out. See that little switch here?
Yep.
Off. Device is off,
That is
Sweet.
and device is on. Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm vaping on that. On top of it, I have the not for sale tank. You guys ever see that one? The not for sale tank?
That's an awesome tank, dude.
That's a fucking awesome name for a tank. Actually, it's the Freemax Pro Mesh triple coil inside here. Vaping on that. Liquid I have. Actually, I didn't say it. This was in the Nada Caramel Tart. Inside here we have Smoothie. Got some Smoothie inside this. So I'm vaping on that. I'm also vaping on. This is the Falcon Resin. Boxer DNA 250C dual 21700. Inside here I have some strawberry. What's that? What else you vaping on, Mike? I'm actually vaping on this too. This is the modified, and on top of it I have another not for sale tank with the same liquid Smoothie inside here. Yes, that has the dual mesh coil in here. Reason for that is I filmed the video and they both have the same liquid, so for tasting purposes to see which one tastes better, the dual or the triple. Find out tomorrow. Intake RTA on the R More Pro from Vaporesso. Some Enigma Berry Candy inside there. We are also vaping on the Lazy Vapors. I think that's what it's called. Lazy Vapor Squonker Recurve, Ultim Recurve, 22 millimeter there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, where'd that come from?
Wow.
Oh, snap. Check out that beauty ring. It says Recurve on it, too.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. Look at you sneaking one in there.
Yeah, we're vaping on that. Inside here, we have, I think I got pomegranate. Is it? Yes, that's pomegranate. This one here, blueberry pomegranate azure. Got that inside there. Mike, you vaping on anything else?
I bet you he
I am.
is.
Yes, I am. I'm vaping on a few more things. Also vaping on a Proton Engine V2 on top of it. I got some of Joe Mother Effin Turner's raspberry custard inside there. I'm also vaping on this right here. This is the Aspire Spirit pod system, like a pod system. It is a pod system. Vaping on that. I have some strawberry ghost stick inside here. I'm also vaping on, what do you call it? The Infinix. And I'm vaping on this right here. The Pulse BF 80 watt with the Reverie.
It's party.
There it is.
Party. That's the pulley RDA.
The Reverie. Well, hold up. Oh, I just cut myself.
Oh, come on.
Nah, I'm just playing. Vaping on that.
Bullshit.
And inside there we have some strawberry pie by Chop Shop Bakery. I am vaping one more thing. Let me show that off too.
You're making Mark nervous over here with all this stuff.
I'm also vaping on the Dreamer. The Dreamer, yeah, baby. With the Reload X inside there, we have Blueberry. Blueberry pie from Chop Shop Bakery. There's some long ass buffets. Should I keep on going? I got like 3 or 4 others I can show.
Well, we still got 50 minutes left in the show.
Right. Take it away, Stanley.
What up? No, I am vaping on a Reverie that I just put together with this rig box that I haven't used yet. I just got this thing. So this is pretty cool. I got a Reverie on the Bastium right here. And inside that I got some Abstract Doughboy. And inside this one I've got some Roots root beer juice that I can't find the bottle to. Here it is right here. Dude, by the way, if you like root beer float, root beer is usually really hardcore. This stuff is freaking amazing. This is the smoothest root beer float juice I've ever had, ever. I'm also rocking the Lazy Vapors box mod with the Reverie on top. Notice these are all squonkers, by the way. Just saying. And
You could squonk the Reverie?
you can squonk the Reverie, man.
No.
You can do it.
Oh yeah.
I got an Admiral with the custom stuff. And that, and then this. Bam. The Jewel. Everybody freak out.
Yep.
I love that.
Everybody freak out.
He just said Jewel. Everybody run for the hills.
Stan, say take it away, ST.
Take it away, ST.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us tonight, Stan. Well, I've got my little simple buffet going on. This is an awesome combo. Engine V2 on the Proton. You can't go wrong there. Also, my device that I created, and there's only one of a kind. Yes, my DNA 250 with the intake on there. Also, got the Boxer DNA 250C with the good old goon on that joker. Last but not least, Dreamer with the Nada. Yes, Mark kind of gets the shakes when he hears folks say the Nada. He's always afraid somebody's going to say something bad.
Why didn't you guys text me and tell me I should be vaping on the Dreamer? I feel like the oddball now.
Well,
I'm not vaping on a Dreamer.
Can I redo my buffet real quick?
when I get done.
I got 5 right here, and I'm not vaping on one. What kind of shit is that?
Juices I'm working on. Mr. Soda Pop Shop from Camelot. Strawberry milkshake. Good stuff there. Also, that Royal Strawberry Donut. I'm working on Chop Shop. Even though... Oh, yes, I can show about... That's all I got left of my caramel tart. There's like a little smidgen at the bottom from Chop Shop. And last but not least... I haven't really done much of this shit, but this chef's recipe, this pear donut is like something different. It's not like, oh yeah, but it's not like, ugh. So it's kind of in between there for me. And of course, all my normal pod systems. So we got that all out the way. First of all, before we get to interrogating Stan,
Hold on. I forgot I had one other mod in the. I'm
well,
vaping
that's
on.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it to you.
I got the Dreamer with a sub-ohm tank. Thank
Oh,
you.
my God.
Don't listen to him.
I'm joking.
He does not have a sub-ohm tank on there.
And this is why Mark wonders why he's so pissed off right now about stuff. Mark, I just want to ask you this one question. Do we need to have any type of intervention with you right now since you're feeling a little upset? Or do we just need to let you calm down?
No, I vented earlier on Instagram. So I feel
Okay.
better now.
Okay.
Got it out of my system.
There you go then. That's all that needs to be said.
Mark, just do not put the NADA RDA on that hybrid mech mod.
It's not hybrid safe, huh?
Oh, goodness.
That one was coming. I knew it.
So, we've got Stan the Man with us tonight. Tenacious TX. I'm sure y'all all know who he is, so it's not like, ooh, let me introduce Stan to you because y'all know who he is. If you're living under a rock and you haven't heard, the biggest thing that Stan's name I think is related to really is the Dreamer. Probably one of the hottest selling mechs up to this point right now. So, seems like everybody's got one. I know I've got two. Love them. Everybody in our crew has them and has always enjoyed them. So, but you've got a new product out. You got a new dripper out, don't you there, son?
I do. We just talked about it. Or we just showed it. The Reverie.
Look at that.
It's funky, that's for sure. And here's one on top of, I forgot, Michelle Lynn's in the chat, so I wanted to show her that I use her box too. But there's one on the Reverie with a custom tip by, that's in the same style as the one you have, Mike. It's just a different shape. I had them custom make these for me.
Which one do I have?
It's the Redemption. Is it the Redemption?
Oh yeah, I have the Redemption one on it. Yes.
Yeah, it's got it's got a set in underneath it.
Yeah.
So it's down on top. And I'm actually talking to Half Moon Mods about having them custom make some cool tips that sit around that, like just because I think it would look cool.
Oh, so this way.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Kind of like we talked about in the chat.
So let me ask you, is this out for sale right now, or are we still?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually on pre-order. It's not shipping yet. It's a couple people might get theirs because some small orders have come in. You can get it on lucidrda.com. It's for pre-sale on Heaven's Gifts, a couple other different places. I'm not real sure where in the UK, but Times Vape usually wholesales to Evolution Vaping.
So let me ask this question to you before we talk about the logistics of everything else. I'm curious. So this is your second RDA that you put out, and you're big into the vertical thing. What draws you to the vertical RDAs? This is kind of more for me. A lot of people might know this, but I don't know it. So
I'm gonna surprise you. You ready?
Okay.
I'm not really partial. I really like the way verticals vape, but I'm not really partial from one to the other, from horizontal to vertical. I wanted something like when I do designs and draw things up and everything, I want something that's different and does what it's supposed to well. So kind of, and if you watch Jay Hayes' video, he says he doesn't like the looks of it, but the function is really good. So it will kind of shortening that. He says a lot of stuff, but you know how it is. He's the only review up right now. But basically, I wanted something that was different. I mean, I'm a tinkerer. I like to tinker with stuff, and everything was the same for a long time. Things have only started moving differently recently, away from velocity style decks and things like that. The Goon kind of changed it up a little bit. We talked about this recently on the Stew actually, and I did the Lucid. I thought it was fun and it was cool, but it was just a little too much tinkering for a lot of people. So I wanted to do the vertical style easier, and that you didn't really have with the Lucid. You had to kind of work. It was a cloud machine, but you had to work to get that flavor you really wanted, really dense, thick flavor. And so with the Reverie, I wanted to do a design that was drop wick. You can't really screw it up kind of thing, and you're going to get that dense, juicy flavor that you want out of it, but with a super, super smooth airflow. And I mean, the function, if I'm a little wacky cat, you can obviously tell, like anything you see me do, I don't mind the funk. So the looks of it, it's a little funky, but you know, it's just a little part of me in there. But mostly the RDA, I love it so much because of the function. So
Well, I know
uh,
that, like the funky part, I know Mike said that, what was it? You got like 3 or 4 stitches in your finger from that edge. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, folks.
it's not sharp.
But
It is a point. It is a point.
it
but
is
it's not-
different looking, though. I give it that. It's not the average top cap you would see on an RDA, which I think looks pretty cool. And you were telling me earlier that Jay just put his video out. What was it, today that he released his review?
Yeah, like
on
right
it?
before, like an hour before we went live or something.
So, and did he give it pretty good review, or did he like take the hammer to it, or what did he do?
No, he didn't take the hammer to it, but I mean, typical of Jay's style, he holds like I told you, I don't necessarily see myself as a reviewer. I do reviews and stuff, but I mostly just like to help people and do, you know, there's half and half videos. There's like community videos as well as review videos on my channel. So he holds guys like us, you know, if you did a RDA or guys like us that get a lot of hardware on our hands, reviewers that see a lot of things, he holds us to a higher standard. And he actually gave it a decent number for in his rating scale for his, you know, for Jay, 6.5, which is a pretty good number from him. And he has his pros and cons, but you know, in my opinion, and I think in his opinion too, the function pros outweigh the, you know, the looks cons and things like that. So
I see he's out in chat right now. He said he gave it
yeah,
a
he's
6,
out there, and
so.
I think he would agree with what I'm saying. I don't you know, anytime you watch something of his, whether it's your product or not, you're always going to have something where, anytime you watch anybody, you're always going to have something where you don't necessarily agree, or you might understand what they're saying. And he makes good points and everything. I don't necessarily agree with what he said about the squonking, but that's his deal. That's his experience, and that's what he said. And I'm totally cool with it. I'm not like upset about any of it. I think it was fine. I think it was a good review. He gave a good number, and he used it a lot. So
See, what I'm curious is that I enjoy his style that he puts into his videos. You know, he likes to take it that extra mile with it. But the one I'm really kind of on edge on to see, and I know Mark is really sweating it out. I'm ready for him to do the Nada review. I'm ready to see what happens there with that one. I'm certain there's going to be a nice production with that one.
Tiger Tech actually paid Jay to not review it.
So that's where all the money went.
Yep. The budget we blew on Jay for not reviewing it.
Wow.
When I tell people, like when I tell Times Vape that I was going to send him the Dreamer, or that I wanted them to send him a Dreamer, I can't remember if I sent it to him. I think I did. And then I was going to send him the Reverie. That's basically their thing. They're like, "You really want to send to him?" Like, yeah, send it to him, man. It's fine. It'll be okay.
Jay saying the Nada RDA is done. So, wow, that'll be the next good one coming up right there. So, they paid me $800 and said, "Here, don't review."
Nice.
So that's where all the money went. That Tiger Tech was looking.
Yeah, that was the budget right there, out the window. Thanks, Jay.
Oh Lord. So,
Told you, man. $50 to PayPal. I'll review it tonight. I
the
don't even have it, but I'll figure it out.
That's a sweet deal, too.
what I'm kind of interested in too is that I mean, I know you because we've kind of talked, but I really don't know you. But so are you like huge into mechs, or do you like a lot of regulated devices too? I mean, do you have a forte of something that you like more than the other, or?
I'm such an indecisive person, man, and so OCD, or not OCD is not the right word. ADHD is probably the right word. Like just undiagnosed ADHD. I'm like, ooh, shiny object. You know, I'm just into vaping in the way that the industry is moving, and the way it's constantly changing and kind of evolving. The whole thing draws me to it. I do design for a living in a completely different field, so to see a technology advance and change is right up my alley. I am a big mech user. I collect mechs. there's a big old collection on a shelf up there out of frame. But every mech that I collect has to have something interesting about the design. Even if it doesn't perform well, it has to have something interesting about the design. I've got things like the grip, the NATO. I got the Ruby because, in my opinion, it was like the first one that did the hybrid thing really well, like where it's all connected. You know, what else do I got? I've got not the Bonaspati, the Bestia, which is the side fire that came out before the grip, but it has like it has a Delrin insert that connects the bottom from the positive from the negative, but it's internal, so you never see it. It's not like the spike mod or something like that. It's like just really cool small things that kind of innovate or change is kind of what I base my collection around. So, you know,
Sweet.
I trade for a lot of it. I've bought a couple things, but I try not to buy too many super expensive mods.
Well, I can say this, and I know it's more or less Andrew that did it for me, but you know, I'm just not a mech user as of mech tube wise. I do have mechanical mods, but it never really was my thing until he said, dude, you got to get a Dreamer. And then, you know, after getting them, I realized, wow, you know, I really have enjoyed these. I'm still not that person like, you know, Mike's pretty big into mechs too, you know, and Mike's got his certain mechs he likes, but that's not quite me. Mark is kind of over there with it, but I think Mark's more like me. He likes the regulated stuff, I think, more, but
Yeah, I do regulated. I mean,
Yeah.
the Dreamer was awesome, though. When I got it, it was unlike any other mech mod, too. It was badass for what it was.
exactly.
Price and everything.
And that's what we talked about earlier is that for the price point on it, I think that's what just killed it, you know, in that field right there, that people could actually afford a mech that felt like it was, you know, a mech that you'd pay, you know, 150, $200 for it. It feels like that right there, but you're not paying that for it. So
Yeah, that was a big part of the Dreamer for me, which I said before and I'll say again. The popularity of it has just blown me away. I never expected anything like we've received. You know, everybody has been really on board with it. Even, I mean, and you know what? With as many as sold, people have little issues here and there, but with as many as sold, I'm surprised there haven't been more issues, honestly, because when you manufacture such quantity, I mean, it's not like it's selling 60,000 or anything, you know what I'm saying? But for a mech, it's selling a lot. And they had that coating issue with the blacks. So I recommended they take them off the market, and they did. They've been really good about that stuff. They fixed they've got this new electroplated black for the stainless. That's the same coating. Actually, it's exactly the same as what they did to the Apex, the colors on the Apex. So the coating's really good now on the stainless, and they're working on putting the copper and brass back on the market, but I don't know if they're going to. So if you're interested in that stuff, keep an ear out. But it's just been one of those things that's just kind of blown me away, and people still ask about it. People are still buying them, and I really wanted something that was a quality budget mech that was super versatile. I didn't want something you just screwed together and worked. I mean, my biggest thing, you asked if I'm a mech guy. I think most of it is I'm a simplicity guy. And, you know, I grew up working on cars, old cars and stuff. My first car was a 1957 Ford. Like, if I can't, like, I like that part of a mech. I can fix it if there's something wrong. Usually I can tinker with it and fix it, get it working again, you know? And I like a 4.2 volt vape, you know, and it's just a freshly charged battery on like a 0.15, 0.14, depending on your build, is like a fantastic vape for me. And it's been really, really crazy for me, that whole thing. So, honestly,
I'm curious. I know like Mike and Brian and a few others have kind of started with one company, but now they've branched out working with multiple companies. Is there anything going on that you can speak of, or is that like forbidden information at the moment?
Let's just say I got some other stuff in the works that's happening pretty soon.
Okay, there we go. You heard it here.
If they do come out with other companies, it's not because I have any beef or anything. It's just because I'm free to do that.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's why I did it, you know. I wanted to work with other companies.
Yeah. I mean,
That was part of the deal, man. That was like when I first started doing this stuff with Times Vape. I said, look, I totally am cool with doing this with you, but I want the ability to, if I want to do something with somebody else, if you're busy or whatever, because Times Vape's not a big company. They're a small company.
Yeah.
They get busy, and you can tell by the back orders that have been on Dreamers like over the last few months. Things got back ordered. People are like, oh, we can't get Dreamers in, and they're working on it. They're a small company. So, I wanted the ability to go out, and I may be doing that in the future.
Well, what I think is pretty cool is like, Mike's worked with 3 different companies and everything. 4 different companies, but
Get it straight, ST.
I know. Well, at least 3 of those companies I have product from, and all of them have been great. It's not like it was kind of hit and miss with this one. Each one of the companies, Vandy, Watofo, and Ogvape, they've all, put out good products. So it's cool that you have that versatility that you can work with different companies that provide still, a good product. So,
well, some companies do things better than others, and it's not just about the machining or the build. It's about, like, I wanted the ability to work with other companies in their design process, like how to go through the manufacturing process as well as marketing and, every aspect of it kind of. I've worked marketing design for trade shows and things like that, trade show companies. I've worked structural and, like I've worked all kind of machining. I've worked all kinds of design. So to see the different aspects of different marketing and different parts, different ways they work to manufacture, it's the same way with the different companies. This Times Vape, a small company, I see how easy and it is with them, and then I work with another company and I see how it is with them, and I'll see how they do their marketing and stuff after that. It's just cool. I kind of want to just float around, and hopefully I can get ideas out there that are decent enough to be able to do that. So
that's awesome. Quick thank you to C. Manny for the donation. I think this is more towards Mark. Smoke just contacted me to make the North Korean Nada version 2. That would be awesome right there.
Yeah.
Mark, you're going to have to check with your competitors on there. So,
C. Manny.
Yes. C. Manny is such a good guy there. He's always got good stuff for us. So,
Good old Smoke.
oh,
Wallace
Lordy.
Wanez said that I'm being too serious. Am I being too serious? I'm sorry.
No. Well, most of the time, this is kind of a different show this time. Normally, it's just, us 3, and, we kind of do our thing a little bit. But, I'm curious to ask some questions to you. We got you on here, so.
Permit if you want. You can ask him about that.
So, we'll get rowdy here in just a second, folks. Y'all just chill. So, Lord have mercy. Mark, get rowdy real quick. Mark's been pissed all day long. I can tell it. I can see it in his eyes that he's wanting to unleash. He just won't do it.
I was going to unleash at 1 o'clock in the morning and go live on YouTube, from my bedroom, but I didn't unleash. I was actually thinking of Brian the whole time, like what Brian would tell me. Mark, don't do it. Don't do it, Mark. So I was little Brian thing was on my shoulder saying, "Don't do it."
Yep.
And the other shoulder had ST say, "Do it, motherfucker."
Yes, I was pushing hard for that one.
My show.
Oh Lord. So they kind of messed with you pretty hard there, huh, Mark?
Yeah.
They pushed your buttons a little too far.
They pushed him.
Well, at least you've been in this business long enough to know what's going on. Or how do I state this? You've done this long enough, and you've been around enough people that's been involved with all this, so you don't really lose your shit like you normally would.
Yeah.
I guess that's an easy way to put it. Thank you for the donation for Mr. Vapor Swaggin. So much love for Stan, Mikey ST, Naked
Whoa,
Fade,
stop. Say the whole name.
Stan Wise Gangi.
Stan Wise GMG.
Gangi. Why do I say hell, I don't know. Hell, I can't read for shit. I can't even barely see my screen. Better than getting your hands on a reverie now. Oh, okay. Wow, I'm losing my screen there. Okay. Thank you for the donation.
I think he's drunk. I think he was drunk when you wrote that.
Okay.
Looks like it.
Wow, that's why I wasn't. I was just going to kind of zip through it real quick, but I still thank you for the donation there. So I've seen a few questions come across, but I don't want to interrupt while folks are talking. But I did see one question pop up a good while back. Somebody was asking, where can they get replacement springs for their Dreamer?
Replacement springs.
I seen that question in there.
That's I'm not gonna lie. That's very what's the word I'm looking for? Rare kind of question.
Yeah.
They come with extras, and I don't know, but
I want to
they're
know
not
what the hell he's
available
doing
to
with the
purchase.
springs.
What?
What the hell is he doing with the springs that he needs extras?
That's, I mean, and I wanted to be fair and ask that question, but I did see
No,
it go
you
by.
can contact info@timesvape.com and see if they'll get you some if you want, or see if you can purchase some from them. But as far as being available to purchase, you can't get them. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced any spring wear out. I've never even used a second set of springs in all the Dreamers that I've used.
I would have to say that if you've worn the spring out on that thing, you are wearing that joker out.
You are vaping, bro.
You were literally just holding the button down and never letting it loose, pretty much. But I don't
Either
know.
that, or you're setting them on the desk and just playing with them, and they're disappearing.
Let me read this. ST, this is from Fogging Out with a Batman. ST, have you heard that the flavor ban is now moved to Massachusetts? I did see that earlier in a post somewhere, but I have not read about it. Do y'all know about it at all? Or have any information? Mark, I know you got some information on it.
I'm actually holding my information till Sunday. Thank you.
Oh, you're going to save it for your show. Thank you. Nice.
Will you do a shout out?
Yes.
Shout out, Mr. Just Right.
Oh,
Man,
what's
Joel,
up?
Shout out to you, brother.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what's up, brother? What is going on? That's your side hand over there on your show, correct?
Yeah, he's one of the co-hosts on Vape Stew.
Nice.
9 p.m. Central on the Tenacious TX Vapes channel.
Awesome.
Fridays.
Thank you for the donation there from Vaping
Actually,
Miner.
ST, do you mind if I say something about that spring? It's not really the spring thing, but I've had questions about spare pins. And I've actually am going to have spare pins. I've got them. I just haven't put them on the site yet. I'll put them up tonight. Spare pins are available on lucidrda.com tonight. So
Sweet. Yeah, I wish I had more news for y'all on this flavor ban, but I really don't know anything, so.
Can I interrupt?
No, I want you to.
You know what you should do? You have so many springs extras from all those mechs you were showing before. You could list like 3 or 4 springs up on your site too.
There you go.
you know what? I probably could. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? Actually, where's that guy? Who was it? If you're the one that asked about the spring question, you email me and I'll see if I can find you a spare person.
Oh, you're gonna have like 20 people email you now.
No, just the guy. I'll go back through. He's the only one that's available to. And I'll go back and I'll see.
Oh, somebody was asking when are the colored, so I'm taking it the aluminum ones, when are they going to be available?
They're already available.
Okay, then.
Yeah, are you talking about the colored ones?
Yes.
The purple, the red, and the blue, they're already available. They're also on the site. I put a stainless button on that one. But no, they come with a gold button and gold-plated button, and they are, dude, these things, if you look on, if you look on conductivity scales, supposedly brass is less conductive than aluminum. And I will tell you, and anybody that's used these that I've talked to, because I've been asking around if anybody's getting the same experience as I am, these things hit like a freaking Mack truck. They weigh less with a battery in them. Well, they feel like they weigh less with a battery in them than an actual brass or copper Dreamer does, or stainless.
We were talking about that the other day on a live show, and I had mentioned that aluminum's fucking hit hard.
Dude, these mods hit so hard, it's ridiculous. I would put them right next to the copper. I actually use this one's got a battery in it. I use this one all the time. I've dropped it a couple times. It's got a couple little, not dropped it, but like just right here on the desk or whatever. It's got a couple little nicks on it, but with the anodizing didn't come off. It just kind of dinged in. Like, right, you can't, maybe you can see, hold on. Focus. Right here. There's a little ding right there, and it didn't take the anodizing off. I mean, it's got little stuff like that all over it, so.
Show them that one with the ultimate button again.
Oh, yeah. There's the matte black with the ultimate button.
That's pretty sweet. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
They call it gunmetal, but it's matte black. I don't know why they call it gunmetal. I think they don't want to call it matte black because they were calling that the copper coated ones that. So.
All right, we got a lot of questions coming through, so let me start trying to catch some. Matthew asked, any word on a copper reverie?
On a copper, no. I'll be honest with you, copper RDAs don't really sell, so it's hard to do a run of that stuff. They don't sell as well as like stainless and stuff because
Plus,
people
why would
don't
you
want
want a copper?
people don't want to clean them.
It's going to distort the flavor too.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll make the RDA more expensive. Like these aluminum Dreamers are $25 cheaper than regular Dreamers. They're only $75. You know, if you make copper caps, they're more expensive than aluminum or stainless caps. So it's not really in the economical.
Yeah. The black Dreamer I bought completely lost its black paint job. You must have the version 1.
Actually, my version 1's around here. Mine is perfect, but that was an issue. That's why they pulled them off.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a first run Dreamer, that if you have one of the coatings, bad coatings, it just comes off super easy. I mean, it just comes off on its own. If you contact info@timesvape.com, yeah, like that one that Mike has, there was a few of them. In fact, there was too many for us to keep them on the market. They were just, a lot of them went out good, but a lot of them went out with bad coating. So they are replacing those. If you email info@timesvape.com, they will ask for your serial number and they will want where you purchased it from, just to make sure.
Do you know what serial numbers like range?
I don't know, but I do know they check. So,
yeah. Like this one here has been fine. I haven't had peeling.
I have one too. Man, I got so much shit on my desk right here. The only black one I got right here is this one right here. I don't know where it went. I have a black one that's perfect that I use a lot. That's probably why I can't find it. It's probably like downstairs on the counter or something.
Oh, Lord. I keep losing. Somebody's asking, Mark Foster wants to know where you can buy a Reverie in the UK.
The only place that I know that Times Vape works with, like right off the top of my head, is Evolution Vaping. I do know that Heaven's Gifts is pre-ordering them right now. So if you're in the UK and you don't mind picking something up from China, Heaven's Gifts, the ones they're selling are legit. So
there you go. Well, I mean, this is Fogging Out says, I have personally tried to contact them a week after I bought it, never got an answer.
Well, dude, you never got an answer. That's probably not on purpose, man. They've been really good, and they copy me on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Email stan@tenacious.txvapes.com, and I'll make sure it gets answered. Fogging Out. Batman's a cool guy. If you guys haven't seen his channel, you should go check his channel out.
Definitely.
Yeah, he is really cool. Really cool.
Go ahead, Mark. Why don't you read the donation off, since we always do it on your show?
All right. Hey, guys. Shout out to all of you and TX Vapes. I got my red aluminum yesterday. Within 3 hours, I bought a second brass one. Awesome mod. Awesome show.
Thank you.
Mr.
Mark, you didn't say that right, bro.
Capone, some Grizzly. Did I read it wrong?
No, you got it. You said shout out to all of you. That's not what it says.
Hey, guys. Shout out to all of
y'all.
Y'all.
Gotta get that southern thing there, baby.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Got to get that y'all in there, boy.
Mark acts like he doesn't know about that, but he knows about y'all. Don't let him lie to you. So, well, dude, I mean, you've had some pretty heavy hitters from what I'm saying.
How's the? I'm just curious. Like, how's the popularity on the Stack Dreamer? Like, do Stack mods do they do well? Do they sell well?
That is so crazy because Mark, you just read my mind because I was about to start
I'm just
asking
wondering,
about
like,
that.
how the market is for a Stack mechanical mod.
The Stack is one of the. Okay, look, the Dreamer draws a lot of new mech users, people that want to use mechs that or have like they've just started researching and stuff, but they, the only mechs out there that have been out there for newbies or that have been out there that have been on the lower budget scale have been like $30. You guys know this $30 Geek Vape mechs and stuff,
Yeah.
So for a $80 to $90 mech to drop that is really nice quality, and you don't have to blow your whole, monthly or bi-month or, whatever money you got set aside for vaping. You don't have to blow it all on a piece of hardware. It really draws people that want to get into mechs because they can get a really nice mech at a decent price, So the Stack kit's only $35. So it's done the same thing. People that have been really interested in series that haven't wanted to drop $200 on a stacked mod or 75 or $80 on a stack kit, $60 on a stack kit. They've got a Dreamer to go out and get the $35 stack kit and kind of experiment with series, which, by the way, I definitely would advise your Ohm's law and stuff if you're going to do that. But yeah, no, it's been the same thing. It doesn't sell as much because not everybody's a series guy. I like series, but I don't use it hardly. It's very rare that I use a series mod. But I do like series when I want something really hot or when I have a big nasty coil build that I want to put in something that somebody made for me or whatever. And they sell decent. They sell decent. I think I'm on my third order for the website of stacks since they dropped.
So Yeti's uncle makes a great point, and that's what I wanted to say the same exact thing he's saying. $200 mod at $80.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one thing about the Dreamer. The Dreamer is just you could put it up against. I give an example right here. I could take it and put it right next to something like this mech and this mech right here, and this one here is like a $400 mech compared to 100, and the quality is almost the same. It's you can't. If I were to put both of these side by side and ask somebody which one is more expensive, it's not like you could say, "Oh, this one definitely is." You understand what I'm trying to say? That point I'm making. So
yeah, no. When we first, I've showed this before, but hold on, let me show you. This is the first prototype of the Dreamer, the very first prototype. This was made only for 2700. Okay, it's still got the same kind of curve. It was not reversible. Well, I'm sorry, it is reversible, but it wasn't made that way. Okay, and the extension, the way to take up for battery rattle was this right here. Mm-hmm. That's it. It still had the anti-rattle thing, but it wasn't measured out and dimensioned to be able to take up for all three batteries. Now, when I heard about the 30Ts coming out, I said, I want that. I want this thing to be able to run that battery when it comes out in 2018. So redesigned it, and me and a buddy, it also had the venting on top. Me and a buddy said, I let a buddy use it of mine. His name is Justin Vapor Addict. And we went on a road trip. I had two of these. I gave him one, and this is aluminum with a brass pin. I gave him one, and I had one. I said, we're going to use only this all weekend. We're going to go on this road trip because we're going to vape the hell out of the truck, just how it goes when you go on a road trip, right? So we're going to use only these. We're going on this road trip. I want your true and honest opinion at the end of this thing. So 3 days later, we got home. He handed it to me, and he said, dude, you got something. And I said, I know I can't imagine an aluminum mod hitting like this thing does. I said, but, and then we talked about, I was like, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of that. And he said, dude, wouldn't it be cool if you could put it upside down like that? And I said, yes, I told him that. Tell me that that's a good idea. And he said, that's a good idea. And I said, it's done. I'm fighting for it because they didn't want to do it. They wanted to make it a full solid hybrid without being able to come off. And it just took him telling me that it was a good idea because he had the same idea as I did for me to go and say, look, I want it like this. This is how it's going, you know? So I don't remember what the question was. I got all sidetracked, but what was the question again?
Take it away, Mark. I think I even got a little lost on that one, but it's all
That wasn't really a question. It was more of a. Well, it wasn't a question. It was more of a statement of how an expensive mech.
Oh yeah.
To that, you know.
No, what I was trying to say was that this thing came across, and this is cheap, man. This thing is just a cheap, sharp-edged, just, you know, they made it in 30 minutes type of thing. But with the design and the way it felt and the way it hit, I was like, we've got something here. And when the final prototype showed up and they had gone through and they had cleaned everything and rounded the edges like I asked them to and did all the like really quality stuff that made it feel like it does now, I was like, I can't believe Times Vape did this. Like, this is such a nice mech. I was super excited at that point. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really excited about this mech. And I'm just really happy that everybody else has felt that way too.
Mr. Just Right asked if I was working on any project. I'm probably the one person out of the bunch that has not. I've been hit up by one company, and then it was like, I've just been around the group of guys here that have done it, and it's like, nothing comes to mind. It's like,
don't hold back, ST. Come on, man, tell us.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what's funny, because I've got hooked on these freaking pods like crazy, even though I still do all my other stuff. But everybody's like, when you got your pod coming out? When's your next pod system? I'm like, dude.
There you go. A pod system.
Yeah, but
pretty awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it amazes me how far China has come with quality. Like, you look back at this time, like last year, or the year before, like, they never put out shit this high quality. Never.
Yeah.
It has come a long way.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, dude. If you can get to 200 likes, I'll give away an aluminum Dreamer on your show.
Where are we at on likes right now?
130.
Shit.
All right, folks, y'all just heard it.
400 people watching, so you know. I got 4, and a couple of these are for my patrons. So
wow,
I will give the winner their choice of red, blue, or purple.
Now, are the top cap and the button also aluminum, or the switch housing?
The whole entire thing's aluminum.
Oh, is it?
The pin is the same silver-plated copper pin. It has the same spring embedded in the switch, and it has a gold-plated button.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, folks, you have heard it. We get to 200 likes. Somebody's gonna get them a Dreamer. So
I think we're at 190 now.
Oh, there we go.
Damn, did I set it too low?
They're hitting that button quick now.
I mean 400 likes.
203.
Changing it.
Wow.
Keep on liking it. Keep on liking it.
Yeah, keep on liking it anyway. You need to. And I tell you what I'm going to do. And if it's okay with everybody on the panel, and I'm going to do it tonight, it's kind of a special night, you know. I'll take the show a little bit further than normal because I know Demi is in Greece. They're not doing a show after this one, so we'll take this one a little bit further. You know, don't often get, you know, to hang out with Mr. Stan here, so... I had another question for you real quick, since Mark brought it up about the stacked version. So basically, it's basically just 2 Dreamers stacked then, right?
No, it's the stack is actually, here's one right here. I gotta loose it on top of it, but the stack is actually kind of like an hourglass shape.
Ah, okay.
It's not the same shape, but what's cool is that you can run it reverse. You can run it either way, whichever way you want. So you can run it on top, on bottom. You could flip this and run it on top. You could, you know,
I got
Doesn't
a
matter.
question.
You can stack them.
Can you take that top piece and throw the top piece from the Dreamer, bottom and top, on that? Use that body as a single?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if you can run it as a single though. I mean, hell, we can try it. You want to try
I'm
it?
surprised you haven't tried it.
Honestly, dude, I never really.
Mike's always Frankenstein and stuff. And
That's
doing
okay,
things,
dude. You know
so-
what? Be
You
frank.
know why I say that? Because it reminds me, that piece reminds me of this.
The Bonaspati.
Yeah,
It
it's the
does
same
kinda-
shape, right?
This one, see, I did this. I did this shape in my computer software.
Oh, yeah, it's a little different than that. Yeah.
Flat and cut off. I don't know. The Bonaspati is something that they developed without me after the fact.
Right.
They asked my opinion on it, and I told them that I wasn't quite sure I wanted to be involved with that. For one, because I didn't do anything on it, and for two, it kind of had that clutch system and everything, kind of like the, which that brings up something that I'm not really sure about either. Is the clutch system really? Does the clutch system make it like kind of a cloning situation,
Well, think of it this way.
or
Your
is it just
switch-
another firing mechanism?
Your firing mechanism on yours, you think you're the first one to do what you did?
Absolutely not.
So,
But
so yours is a clone?
no,
that's
see,
why-
that's why I'm asking the question is because
No, I think that's just people being, they have nothing else to say, and they like to stir the pot,
It's just like a Switch inspired by another Switch.
Yeah, all mechanical mods, if that's the case, are clones.
this is why it doesn't work, because this side's male.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So
it
the
doesn't-
kit. So pretty much with the kit, you just get a male tube, right? Is there any?
You
Is it
get a tube that has a male and female end. You get one of these. No, I'm sorry. You get one of these without an end, and then you get two of these.
Okay. Are those
They're
only,
spring loaded.
are those available in every finish or only certain finishes?
The stacks,
Yeah.
they are only available in the raw metal finishes.
Okay.
So polished, brushed, stainless, brass, and copper.
Okay.
Yeah. They do crazy stuff though, man. People ask me, will we ever see a stack kit for black, or will we ever see this? And it's like, dude, honestly, Times Vape will sometime ask my opinion on colors and stuff, and they just throw stuff up there like, hey, look at this, these are going to be available. I'm like, okay, that's what they did with these aluminum ones. They were like, hey, check out what we did. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And they're like, they're aluminum, we're making them, there's we just did a run of this many. I'm like, okay.
Well,
Awesome.
we've got them sold already, so I
Yeah.
hope you enjoy
How many
it.
do you want?
The red and the blue kind of remind me of Mark a little bit because Mark likes those type colors. If you had an orange one, though,
I don't do blue. Red, orange, black. I think a black and brass stacked dreamer, like black button, brass tube, black tube, brass top cap, like a mixture of the black and brass would be pretty badass looking.
It actually doesn't look that bad, man. People have done it and put pictures on Instagram because people that have black, that their coating's great, they want a stack, but we don't make black, so they just get like, Mike, you've got the brass and black, they just get the brass tube and stick it on top and then put the black cap on, and it actually doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good.
That's
I got
switch.
the brass top and bottom on my stainless tube.
actually, that's
Looks nice, man.
that's what I did. I put my brass top and bottom on the black tube with a black goon, and it looked pretty cool. So.
Vaping with Mr. Just Right said, shot of Mike Vape says he wants it. They will make it. It's
you go.
probably true.
There you go.
Mike Vapes goes, hey, that would be awesome. I think I want one of those. I'll get one in the mail. Somebody asked me about a Saint mod. Have you guys ever heard of the Saint mod?
Mm-mm.
Hold on, let me see who that was. Jose Manuel Diaz. This is the Saint mod. It's dirty. But the Saint mod is a Times Vape mod that they made only for the Chinese market. And I guess people showed so much interest in the UK that they decided to go ahead and put them on the website. I don't know if they're selling them here or not. but it's basically kind of like it's a cross between a Rogue and a like it's a cheap cross between a Rogue and a Purge. So it's got the button thread in all the way. It has the ugly graphic on here. I don't like the graphic, but it basically says Saint. And then it's got a hybrid thing. It's just a hybrid, but the switch is threads in, and this silver contact here, it's got an adjustable Delrin, but this silver contact here is about that thick.
Wow.
It's a solid, huge, thick ass. You know what? I'll take it out and see if you can. The only thing on here really different that I think is cool is if you can see those little tracks in there, what they did, the little pins that keep the button from spinning around. That's really the only thing about this, but it is a solid performer. I mean, I like it. I kept one just to have one.
I wonder why they only released it to Chinese market.
Well, they have the Banaspati was actually only for
There you go.
not Indonesia. Was it Indonesia?
Mike showing off what he wanting.
That black, that's nice looking right
That
there.
does look good.
Yep.
That is nice, man. Did you put the stainless button on it though?
No, I didn't go to that extent.
So you just teasing people. You just messing with people then.
I
Trying
did.
to- Here it is.
Wow.
So this is the contact here.
That's a comment. I was reading this guy. Oh man.
Look at that
Wow, that's fucking. No, that's a contact. Holy shit.
Yeah, it is.
thing. Yeah, it's a big ass contact. It's just a basic switch. I'm holding it in place. So but that's really the only thing about that mod. I mean, it's a solid performer. It's just.
So
nothing
I've
special.
got a Reload RDA coming, the new one, which I'm pretty stoked about. I did get to try it when we were in Chattanooga and
What'd you
liked
think?
it. I like it. Got a black one coming, so of course that'll look good on my Black Dreamer. But have you got one of those yet?
I do not, and you know what? I mean, not a lot of people send me stuff, so I usually buy stuff like that. And I opted out of that one, and I got. Oh, did I show the brass one? This is really the one that comes with the stack, has the silver-plated contacts. Anyway, it was between the Reload X and the Layer Cake, and I opted for the Layer Cake. That was the one I went with.
We talked about this on the show the other night, but I'm kind of curious. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's worth the $70 price tag, or do you think it's a little overpriced?
Man, you know,
I'm
It's
curious to
Chinese.
pick your brain on this one.
it's a Chinese RDA. There's nothing overly spectacular about it. I mean, it's cool looking and everything. I really feel like, and you know what? No offense or anything to anybody, but I really feel like you're paying for with the $70. I'm sorry.
You said I really feel, and then just cut
You
off.
broke off for just a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I really feel like you're paying for the Reload name. Now, there's other RDAs that I've paid less for that I think were like the Culverin. The Culverin was a $60 RDA, and I was okay paying that for $60, like for the RDA, because for one, it's a true hybrid that converts to a 510 RDA, right? And it had those really innovative post holes, which I haven't seen them on anything before. You guys might have because you've touched so much more hardware than I have, but they had those teardrop post holes. So when you screw down on the leads, it actually wedges the leads down into each other and into the post. I thought that was awesome, and I'll pay $60 for something like that. Now I paid $60 for the Layer Cake, but the reason I paid $60 for the Layer Cake was because I wanted to try that kind of mounting system in an RDA. Now I know it's in a cheaper RDA, but I wanted to try that mounting system from District 5 because I really liked the Cosmonaut. I liked the way the RDA looked, and I didn't really see anything too different about the Reload X.
They're
Just-
doing a recall on that, I think, or they're redoing it
They actually changed the insulator.
because it's not
Because-
safe right now the way it is.
the way that it was designed, the leads could actually touch the screw, and the screw being connected to the positive, if the negative side lead touched the screw, you cause a short, right?
Yep.
So they basically took the insulator and raised it up through so that the leads can't come in and touch the screw on the negative side.
Now, as a company like District 5, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, shouldn't they contact everybody that they sold one to? And
I got it. I'm on the pre-order list, and I got an email.
well, they haven't been released yet.
I don't think so. No, I'm on. Okay. If somebody has one, I'm pretty sure they've been contacted because this has been all over the place. I got an email, and other people that have pre-ordered it that I know got an email. So, and it came, and they sent graphics showing the issue, and they highlighted in red what they did to fix it and everything. I thought it was actually a pretty cool move by the company, saying, "Look, this is a problem. This is why you're not getting them, or any of them that have gone out. You need to stop using them," type of thing. So, kind of what Squid Industries did with the TAC-21 when it first came out. They sent out an email and offered up a voluntary recall on the TAC-21, and I thought that was an awesome move by the company.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still a little disappointed with the newer version I got, but
of the TAC-21.
Yep.
Do you get some atomizer not found?
Oh,
Yes, because it won't fire. The lowest I can get is a 0.13 or 1.4 on it.
Man, I really like it, but it won't even register some atomizers. It has nothing to do with the resistance. Some atomizers it just won't pick up.
And I'm not sitting here bashing, and I'm not trying to stir anything up, but it's just common knowledge. I also got the new Chief King that he's making. And the thing that kind of upset me with that was it's not that bad of an RDA, but the coils that they provide for it, if you put those coils in, it will not fire on the TAC-21. And I don't get that.
And they barely fit.
And they barely fit. And when he says they barely fit, they barely fit.
So the resistance is too low.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So, and to me, and this is just the way I look at it, and I feel like I've been in this business long enough and seen things that you've made this RDA, and you make this device. You would think that device that you've made is going to work with that atomizer with the provided coils, but it's just not the case. So,
are they announcing the resistance on the packaging? Because I didn't get that RDA.
I've got the package right here. I don't believe that they do.
Usually companies don't put like they're pre-made.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. But what could have happened is that they could have, the Chinese company that made them, because they're Chinese made, right? The Chinese company that made them could have probably said, well, there'll be this resistance, and they're just not.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be unheard of for Chinese coils.
And I know that there's things that goes on that, it's just overlooked and things happen, but yeah, I was kind of excited to put all that package together and do it, and then come to find out, which means pretty much I have to rip this build out, which is not that hard to do, and put another build in order to get it to work on there. So, but I was disappointed because I like low resistance stuff on my builds, and it's just not going to fire on that device.
Right.
And for a device that uses 21700, you would think, yeah, you're gonna get some action on this one, and it's not the case. But
I will tell you the one thing that I think that is pretty cool about that device is that they're bypass mode. And if you run like a 0.3 or 0.4 on there, and you just flip it into bypass mode, that thing rips. And it's actually really nice. But no, the one issue that I've had with it is the not reading resistance, not reading atomizers at all. Some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't read the Lucid, and the Lucid has a freaking huge pin on it. Like.
I remember when Mark got his Lucid, and he was.
Mark got two Lucids.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a bad one. Little,
No.
but
But Mark handled that pretty professional. He didn't go like buck crazy or anything. So
Well, no, the Lucid was a small run thing, and I knew not everybody was going to be into it. So, people that liked it said glowing things and still say glowing things about it. People that didn't like it got rid of them or never said anything about them. It's not a big deal. Like, it's just how it is. Totally understandable. I know Heavy liked it.
hold on, this question's come through many a times. Mike, will you please answer that?
All right, let me answer a few questions. People think I'm sleeping. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt them while they're talking, so you guys can hear me talking.
Interrupt. I want to hear Mike Vapes talk.
You know, it's called respect. Because just because I have a lot of subs doesn't mean I could just tell these guys shut up. I'm talking.
That exists in today's day and age.
You know? But anyway, Dimlin. I think I'm saying the name right or wrong. I'm not sure, but Dimlin, the Dreamer has venting from the switch, not from the top. What he showed was a prototype earlier.
Yeah,
venting
that's
is
a
on the
prototype.
switch. All right, drip tips. I'm not sure when it's going to come out. Squonk mod, it may be in 2 weeks. What other questions were there? We're getting quickly out of the way. And how much juice do you go through a week? I have no clue. I don't pay attention to how much juice. There we go. Continue.
Now, Mark measures his juice consumption out a week. What is your consumption?
I thought it was normal that people measure their juice. I go through 1 gallon a week.
I bet you do.
I don't keep tabs on how much I use.
Yeah, I would have no clue. No clue at all.
You're not supposed
Actually,
to, I know you can, but you're not supposed to use it as lube, Mark.
Actually, since I've been using pod systems, my consumption has gone down pretty drastic now.
Right?
I don't go through that much. Like I don't really. I've heard other people go through like crazy amounts. Like Big Lou, he goes through like fucking shitloads of juice, but I don't go through that much really.
Well, yeah, they said Lou kills off like a 120 in a day or something like that, or some crap.
I think like a 120 would probably last me a week.
Hold on, be quiet. Mike's trying to get a little nappy time in.
Someone said back to sleep.
Oh Lord. All right,
Yeah,
Since I got this thing, I got on the auto ship, and
Lord,
I can't even get through the package before the 2 packs before the next auto ship shows up.
Why do you like that better? Why wouldn't you just use something like, for example, the Infinix and put your own Nick salts or strengths?
Well,
flavors?
I have I like honestly refillable pods are my what I like best. And actually I liked the Fix better than I like this. However, I got a really cool Fix hat up there and everything. We all know Fix is big tobacco now, so I can't be sporting Fix stuff just because it's
Right.
you know, kind of against my religion now. But I like the mango pods, man. I like the mango pods a lot. I like the way this thing hits. I use a Me Pod. The Sworn Air is my jam, but both of mine are dead right now. I've never used an Infinix.
Gotta get you an Infinix. Once you get it, you'll put them all to the side. The rest of them, every one
Oh,
of
yeah?
them. So, oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
then
it's
done.
awesome.
I just bought one. It's on
There
its
you
way.
go. Well, let's do this real quick. I know we've gone over a little bit. Well, let's go ahead and pick a winner for this.
Yeah, do it. You do it.
So, Mark, will you bring us up on a
Sure
randomizer,
Folks.
So, and since this is Stan's giveaway, when Mark gets this pulled up, we're gonna let Stan give us a number here.
Hell yeah.
Let us know
by
when
the
you're ready,
way,
Mark.
VCC in Tampa. Not sure if I'm going Grizzly.
Oh, those X1s, man. It was funny because you were talking about something. You were asking a question earlier, and all of a sudden I just saw 222 because they were at 222 likes, and it was like X1. It was like,
They love the X1s.
I'm ready for a number. Stan, take it away. What number? Give me a number.
37.
37. Here we go, folks. The winner is
I'm gonna get
Hold on.
Storm Vapor.
Wow. Congratulations, sir.
All right, stop the X1s now. Sorry, you just stop.
Oh, they'll keep rolling hard now.
Oh yeah.
Store Vapor, put in the comments once the X1 stop rolling. Give it a second, okay? Don't do it too early.
Give it about 10 minutes or so.
In the comments, put your name, address, social
Yeah,
security
phone
number,
number.
credit card number.
No, just put in the comments color, and I'll set it aside for you, and then I will contact you.
Sweet. So, I always ask this question.
He said to PIF. PIF?
Piff,
Oh,
Really?
All right. Well, let's.
Oh, wow.
I think he's got dreamers.
All right,
Yeah.
we're doing 37 again.
Look at Mr. Just Right. He says, pick me, please. Pick another number, Stan.
Or another number?
276,433.
Holy shit, I don't think I can remember that.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever seen a show that high before.
42.
42 is going to be nobody. So let's do it again.
Go to 43.
Oh, wait, he said he'd like a pink
Oh.
one if you have.
I already redid it. 42. Is this one? I believe it's one name. Sam K. Sammy Nitro 5150.
Shut your mouth. That
What?
guy is a stooge
Are you
from
serious?
Canada. He is a fantastic builder. That's awesome.
There you go.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just
He's
make
one of the
sure.
big crew.
Just make sure you PayPal ST $3,000, and you can have everything that you need. So,
Oh, yeah.
all right. Well, cool deal. Cool deal. So we're looking for a color now.
Joel said send him a red.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joel would love a red, I'm sure.
Joel
Doesn't even like mechs, man.
I was going to say Joel would probably be loaded up on them anyway.
No, Joel doesn't have one.
Why? Does he have a Dreamer?
No, Joel doesn't have a Dreamer. He doesn't have a Lucid. He's got a Reverie.
He doesn't use reps.
He's got another project I may be working on,
Well, hold
but
on.
he doesn't have a Dreamer.
Hold on, Joel. I'm not really a mech user either, but I got one. Now, come on. You got to at least have one in the arsenal, even if you're not going to use it. Sam said it's on the way. Nice, nice. That means I won't have to work this weekend. Sweet.
What's on the way? I'm confused.
My money to
shit.
my PayPal.
See, the way the giveaways work is that whoever PayPal's money before the show gets the winner.
Here we go. Now, Mark said that. I didn't say anything about
Everything
that.
is rigged. Everything.
Yeah. They always do. A lot of folks think this stuff's rigged, but oh, Lordy. Oh, so my question was going to be, and this kind of more towards Mike and Mark, has anything hit the ground yet this week that's like, whoa?
I haven't had anything come this week. So,
Really?
yeah, it's been slow for me, anyways.
Oh,
Well,
product that I just received this week. I don't even think I got the. What did I get? I got the D Pro. The D Pro Mini.
Oh, okay.
We got a mini. Nice.
Yeah, I got a mini. I just came in, but I haven't opened the package yet. What's today? Tuesday?
Tuesday. So it's always kind of early for my show, so.
Yeah, so really nothing came in yesterday.
You guys use this?
Mark
this.
has.
Oh yeah, I got one right here.
The spin?
How's the flavor on yours?
You know what? It's really good on a new coil.
Yep.
It goes out after a few days, but I mean the vapor production and just the ease of use and being able to stick this thing in my pocket and not worry about it. I actually am really liking this thing. I think it's a pretty killer little mouth to lung starter kit, honestly.
Oh, I'm being told he has chose the blue one.
And then I got these things. Do you guys know DeOne Tech?
I've heard of that before.
They make those refill bottles, the silicone refill bottles. I seen those before but they sent me a resin squonker, and they sent me a resin mech mod kit,
Interesting.
and then they sent me a couple of these DNA 75 squonkers. They kind of look like the H cigars.
Wow.
Nice.
That's what I got this week.
What
There
Oh,
it is.
and the Basium. Of course, the Basium.
Nice.
What about
Should
you?
have
Anything?
Huh?
Did you get anything or no?
No, not yet.
This thing is pretty cool. This is a new from Aspire. It's called.
Yeah, I saw you talk about that.
It's called the Sprite.
Oh, I did get something.
This is a pretty nice pot system.
I got these for a birthday gift.
What the fuck?
Pretty sick pod system right there.
Hell yeah. It's pods, baby.
Have you figured out, Mike? Here's a drip tip for you, bro.
Well, that's a clone.
So what?
That's a clone.
A clone what?
Drip tip.
Why? No.
People are saying like switches are clones, everything. So I'm gonna say that's a clone then.
This is yours.
It's the same thing. That's a clone.
Clone a, like, is there such thing as cloning a drip tip?
Oh, I don't know. Some people said there's clones. Well, I'll call them out here. I don't give a crap. Grim Green said that I cloned the Doc drip tip.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm like,
It's like, what? Seriously? Come on. Meanwhile, he's got Doc drip tips for his RDA. Those are clones? Are those clones then? Come on. Anyway, people just use the cloning thing too much on stupid shit, in my opinion. Just like with the Banaspati, the Switch. Oh, it's a clone. Well, shit. Every Switch is a clone.
Yeah, I feel the same. The Banaspati is actually a really nice mod, man.
You know, so if someone does honeycomb airflow, you gonna call it a clone? Because other RDs have had it? You know what I'm saying? So, anyway.
Oh,
M6. Sorry.
I'm throwing that out too now. From now on, that's a clone.
Yep. I have a reverie tomorrow. I know that for a fact. So
Yeah, you do, buddy.
there we go.
And Mark, did you get yours yet?
yeah, I should have it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, you guys should have yours. I didn't have y'all's information, but I had Mike's. So
Oh. Speaking of clones,
Here we go.
Reverie is not a clone.
the Reverie got the same airflow as the Recurve. That shit's a fucking clone. There we go.
You dick.
Uh,
I forgot about that one. I didn't throw that in too.
hell yeah.
Oh man, oh dude, I seriously almost shit myself though, because when you showed me that, I know I said this already on my video, but it just cracks me up. When you showed me that, you showed me that on the Vapes too for the first time. I think the first time I saw it,
Mm-hmm.
and you showed me the airflow, and I was like, ooh. And then I think you said they were 1.5 millimeter holes, and I was like, son of a bitch. And I immediately after the show, I was like, Mike, damn it. I was like, look, don't get crazy on me.
Hell yeah.
It was hilarious.
Bulk knows the recurve is a clone.
Yep. I was in the chat and I said, and I can confirm that this is a true story.
Yeah, you were. That was pretty funny. I thought that was cool of you. But no, yeah, that was, dude. 1.5 millimeters is like, there's enough surface tension in the liquid, in like a 70-30 VG liquid, for 1.5 millimeters to be able to hold back the liquid long enough for you to get a squonk in it to come back down without it leaking.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
yeah, I've squonked it, and I do the same thing. It operates just like the recurve in squonk
Right.
mode. You press it, and the whole, even the liquid goes all the way up to the coil. It saturates the whole coil. So
what I did, I don't know if you realized, but the angles on those,
Yeah.
the angles aren't really at that angle for airflow. Like the original, I had them going in straight.
it's
reason
for travel distance for that liquid. So
Exactly.
that's, yeah, no.
Exactly. The bottom of the outside hole is actually at the top of the inside hole. So there's that much more travel distance for the liquid to come up to actually leak on it.
The only thing I find with your RDA is because the coil is in the center,
Mhm.
it's where the squonk pin is. Now, I would have done something a little bit different. I would have done it to where it's like the way the Reload X's squonking system is, the RDA, for the liquid to shoot out the sides.
There's a reason why I didn't do that, but you can finish. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Because what happens is when you have your cotton, even if I do the same method where I'll cut the cotton, because putting cotton only on one side, it doesn't make sense. You actually need to split the cotton and put the cotton on both sides inside there. So this way, liquid that goes on the other side is also feeding. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is when you do squonk it, there is that restriction of squonking because that liquid is shooting up and hitting the cotton. And I noticed that when I am squonking, you see liquid coming out more on one side than the other, but it's going up
Mm-hmm.
and saturating the coil.
Right.
So, what was the reasoning for not doing this side?
Well, it was a give and take. Okay, if I did that, I have 2 layers of metal and an insulator I have to go through because of the way I developed the posts.
Right.
So also there'd be less threading to hold the pin in. So if I could have done that if I wanted that center deck to be higher, and then the whole RDA would have to be higher. And a vertical RDA is already going to be tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it looks tall. It's really not that tall. If you hold it up, I mean, it's the same damn size as the culverin cap, honestly. And I didn't want it to be real tall. So
Right.
I kind of sacrificed that. I figured it still squonks good. You just have to hold it a little longer. No big deal, right? In my opinion. It depends on who you are, if that's okay for you or not. But basically, I would have to make a hole through 3 layers for that to work out the sides, and then the pin wouldn't have as much threading to hold it in.
Right.
So it was kind of a, you have to sacrifice some things to make some things work. If you make everything work, then you get a form factor that you may not necessarily like. And
I know every little thing makes a difference on those key things, changes the whole RDA.
And that's why we. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I guess.
No. You're not interrupted.
That's why when some, I don't want to say reviewers, but when some people that are critical of RDAs and stuff say, well, you should have done it like this, you should have done it like that, 15 different things go through my head. Well, if you do, this changes, or this might change, there might be a reason why this can't go this way. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of extra little things that people don't think about that have to change usually if you do one kind of thing different in the design. I mean, this, you guys have worked with this stuff, so you know. But that's with anything, honestly, especially when it's this small. The tiniest little change makes big changes overall. It's kind of like an angle. When you're changing an angle, it's a small distance change here, but it's a huge distance change here. Like at the end of the RDA, you've made a big change and you never even realized it because you changed this little thing here and you've actually built up this huge around it. So it was a compromise on my part, and I know that, like you said, it takes a little more, but honestly, you just have to kind of wick it to work. And
but I haven't experienced anything to where, because it's a vertical liquid, it's not coming from the top and traveling both ways, only because of that it's got the same thing going on, like the way the recurve is, where you squonk it and that coil gets saturated, the whole coil. It's not working. You're not depending on primary capillary action happening from the bottom wick feeding upwards, because on that squonk it saturates everything. Now, your second and third vape, obviously, it's only going to grab what's on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? But on that first initial vape, first, second, third vape, you're going to get a nice saturated vape off it.
Yeah.
But if you're a person that squonks, you obviously know when to squonk, and squonking isn't an inconvenience for you,
And I actually am the one that told them. I know Jay Hayes said in his video that he wasn't going to put it on me or whatever, companies that put the squonk pin in, whatever. That was actually my idea. I told them that I wanted it to be shipped with the squonk pin in it because I designed this as a dripper. Now, when I saw how good it was working as a single coil flavor banger, and I told them on the second prototype, I said, send me a squonk pin. I said, send me a squonk pin and change the airflow like this, because I have a feeling this thing is going to squonk good. I mean, if it drips well and I keep it saturated, it's going to be a good squonker, right? So I told them, I said, change the airflow like this, so that way there's no leaking. Send me a squonk pen with it, but don't change anything else. The only other thing I told them to do on the second prototype was to make this top concave, so when you drip, it doesn't just sit on top or whatever, and it goes back toward the coil. And they sent me that one, and I had the squonking was good enough for me to go, you know what? I think that we should just put the squonk pin in there because I think that this thing squonks killer. I mean, it's, and I think that the fact that I can squonk it and actually get the juice up to the top of the coil just makes this like, who makes a super simple, like I said in the video, who makes a super simple RDA squonker that, that is vertical? Who makes a vertical single coil? Like, you know what I'm saying? So after I realized that, things totally shifted, and I wanted it to be a squonker RDA, a really good squonker RDA. So I wanted it to do both well. I started focusing on what else I could change to make it a good squonker RDA. And I don't know. I think it squonks good, man. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, and everybody has their things, and you know.
Well, with all that information being said, I've given y'all an hour and 30 minutes tonight. And if I give you any bit more, I'm really going to need that big check from Mark. And I know he's not good for it, so it's just not going to happen. But
I'll give you an extra $5 if you let me answer M16's.
do it. Knock it out.
M16's asked us a few times. He says, TX, is Evolution going to stock the Colored Dreamers, mate? I need a red one. I'm not 100% sure, but I will send a message right after this show. And the second I know, I will post either on my Facebook page, Tenacious TX Vapes, or my Instagram, Tenacious TX Vapes. And I will tell everybody where they can get it in the UK. Okay?
Definitely. And I don't mean to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If folks out here were living under a rock and didn't know you had a YouTube channel, where would they find you at on YouTube?
Tenacious TX Vapes.
There you go, folks. So if you're not subscribed to this man, please jump over there and hit that subscribe button to him. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'd love to have you back at some point in time.
Oh, yeah, man. Anytime, dude.
Definitely. And as always, thank you, Mike and Mark. I know Mark is just dying to get this out of his system right now, but he's not.
Let him do it.
Well, I think what he wants to do, I think he wants to do it on his own show. And I think it's more appropriate he does it on his own show because we have almost 1,000 people watching, and I think that would really be a good content.
So Mark's going live right after the show?
I think so. I really do.
Take it away, Mark.
Negative. That's a negative. I'm not.
Anyway, I appreciate you joining us, sir. Thank you for everybody joining us this evening. We are going to get out of here. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Don't forget tomorrow night, Never Heard of Them with Mr. Andrew, Heavy Metal Vapor. Thursday night, the Vape Team. You know the crew. Friday night, Vape Stew. And Sunday night, Not Another Vape Show. And folks, if y'all have not heard yet, I wish I would have mentioned this before while we had a few more watching, but we have a new person on the panel that apparently is coming back. He's coming back for some. Mark, who have we got that is going to be a new member on the panel?
Mr. Johnny English will be joining us full time.
Johnny English.
Johnny, the man that created that show, is coming back.
Original.
Yes.
I wouldn't say creator.
Well, he created it, and Mark then threw him off the show.
That's
co-creator of Not Another Vape Show. Thank you.
That is it. And I'm actually leaving the show, so Johnny's taking my spot, so it's all good. Thank you very much. But
thank you.
Anyway, thank y'all. We're out of here. Y'all have a good evening. Thanks again, Stan, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, man.
We are outie.
Latest.
Oh, show, why won't you end? Oh, there you are. Yes, you